There is a widely accepted rule for personal growth. If you are starting a new diet, launching a business, or building a habit, you should announce it publicly to stay accountable. Initially, the feedback loop is perfect. The moment you hit post, a wave of likes and encouraging comments provides an immediate rush of external support. But then, a strange phenomenon occurs. Despite the massive wave of public support, the motivation often vanishes within 24 hours, and the project is quietly abandoned. If public accountability is such a powerful tool for success, why does the act of announcing our plans so often precede the act of quitting them? Psychology reveals that broadcasting your goals isn't actually a form of discipline, it's a biological trap. Reaching the highest levels of success often requires the one thing social media discourages: absolute silence. The moment you tell someone about a new goal, your brain experiences a phenomenon known as premature dopamine release. This chart compares two neurological events: the dopamine spike from talking about a goal and the spike from completing it. Biologically, the brain struggles to tell the difference. Because you've received the chemical reward, the drive to execute drops. Research conducted at NYU by Peter Gollwitzer confirmed this. Without a round of applause, their momentum stalls. By working in secret, you tap into what researchers Deci and Ryan call intrinsic motivation. This is a state where the drive comes from the satisfaction of the work itself, not the reaction of an audience. The second you share a goal, the energy shifts. It stops being a personal mission and becomes a performance, where you are working to satisfy the expectations of others rather than your own standards. Privacy ensures your work stays meaningful. It keeps your engine fueled by genuine progress instead of the constant, exhausting need for external validation. Early-stage goals are fragile. Through a process called identity shielding, silence prevents the opinions of others, whether they are overly critical or overly excited, from warping your vision before it has a chance to solidify. Evolutionary psychology suggests humans are wired to maintain stable social hierarchies. When you start to level up, it can create an unconscious threat response in those around you who are comfortable with the status quo. This friction often manifests as polite skepticism or passive-aggressive comments. These aren't necessarily meant to be hurtful, but they act as a social brake, creating doubt that can stall your growth before you've built enough momentum to resist it. Withholding your plans isn't antisocial. It is a vital boundary that prevents the group's natural desire for stability from neutralizing your individual progress. Every time you share an unfinished plan, you're inviting judgments and expectations you didn't ask for. In a social sense, information is a form of leverage. Once you give it away, you lose control over how it's used. Silence provides a tactical edge. When others are unaware of what you are building, they cannot prepare for it, compare themselves to it, or offer the kind of advice that actually slows you down. When you eventually present finished results instead of promises, the social dynamic changes. Because the hard work is already complete, it is no longer a subject for debate or outside influence. This selectivity is a hallmark of high emotional intelligence. It recognizes that the most powerful way to move through the world is to let your results speak so loudly that you never have to announce your intentions.